Well, you don't want way back when I was born.
Whatever
Yes.
you want to share, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I made my obituary out yesterday. I should have brought it. I married a World War II veteran, and I was a private secretary in Topeka, Kansas when I met him. And I met him in March and married him in September and quit my job as a private secretary. Then he was in Salina, Kansas, and he had put 4 years on, and he was honorably discharged, and we moved to Manville, Wyoming, where his dad had a big ranch, and he was very sick, and we went up there and helped him. In 1947, Art joined Continental Oil Company in Lance Creek, Wyoming, and we were transferred to Brush, Colorado in 1955, and there was hardly any housing, so we stayed in a motel for 2 weeks until the Husky people built our house on 1123 Eaton Street. The Husky houses are when they were put up, they were for all the oil field. There were 26 families moved from Lance Creek, Wyoming, with us down when they found oil.
How did you get started in the auction
My
business?
husband said when he was little, he sold every cow his dad had and pig. From the very beginning, he wanted to be an auctioneer. He got his certificate or license, and then we started the auction in '59. In 1973, we built our great big auction house on the property, a great big 48 by 96 Quonset, which is still there, full of junk.
When did you sell the old hospital at Ebenezer?
It would have been, I think, in the 60s when the new one was built. Sale bill is in the Ebenezer Museum with my husband's name as auctioneer. We sold the Snyder School and sold Brush High School contents in late 60s or early 70s.
Did you sell other properties around Brush?
Oh, all over Brush and Morgan. Lots of old houses and just Morgan and Brush.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up outside of Burlingame, Kansas, and I went to an old one-story schoolhouse where we had to ride a horse 2 miles to go to it. Then I graduated and went to the Burlingame High School, and until I was 14, a sophomore, and my dad passed away 3 weeks after my baby brother was born. My mom had 7 kids, and we moved to Scranton, Kansas, and I graduated with a scholarship, and I went to business college and worked at a fancy hotel at night in Topeka, Kansas. Went there and worked as a waitress. When World War II ended, I was working there, and man, the soldiers come in and tipped.
What number are you in your family?
I was the 3rd down with my mom's 4 older ones, and then she had 3 younger ones, and one of them was born 3 weeks, my brother, after my father passed away at 49.
Did your father farm?
We had a little farm. Yeah, we had horse machinery, but they got sleeping sickness, the horses did, so he did get a Ford tractor, I can remember, before he passed away. His model and my model: never fight, laugh a lot at yourself, and pray to God. And my mom's was, what will be, will be.
And your granddaughter lives there in the yard with you?
Yes, my grandson and granddaughter-in-law and their children, which is my great-grandchildren, they all live right next to me and have helped me live there for 22 years and helped Art and I do everything. I have 22 and a half acres out there, and they have pigs and cows and all that. My husband and I had some cows and stuff at one time, but he got quite sick and he couldn't do that anymore. And I love antiques.
You had the Brush Cash auction, and that was mostly antiques over the years?
Had the Brush Cash auction from 59 to 85. We owned it, and we had many antique auctions and furniture auctions. We started the Brush Cash auction down across the railroad track and sold everything anybody brought in. We had a man come 1,000 miles to bring us antiques, and we sold it for him. And we had people come to our auctions from 5 states. They knew we were honest. We loved doing all that together, my husband and I. We went to a lot of auctions, and
You had the auctions after Art retired from the oil company?
no, we quit the brush cash auction, but we continued having garage sales on antiques. We had a lot of antiques, World War II stuff.
So what was the most interesting thing that you sold?
A coffin
Really?
on an antique auction. And one of the auctioneers crawled in it, scared the people to death. When we moved to the wagon building, we had it every Saturday night, a consignment auction, and we started our first antique auction there too. The old timers, like me, come and buy lots of stuff. They were wonderful people and bought lots of junk, I would say.
What's the most interesting thing that you purchased over the years?
Well, this is really something I think is a miracle. When I went to business college and worked at night at the Kansas Hotel, and it was a high-class dining room that I worked in, I went to Christensen's auction probably 6 months ago, and there was a pen from the Kansas Hotel, Topeka, Kansas, in a box. Of course, I bought it. Oh, I just have so many interesting things that I bought. I loved history. I donated a bunch of antiques to the museum. There's an 1888 coin changer from the First National Bank that used to be in brush, and for the gold and the silver. And it's down there. And an old Doyle stove with the oven. The museum paid me some for this old parlor stove that's in the museum down there where the school is. If you've seen it, it's beautiful. I even have an antique drop print desk that must be 100 years old. I had the old material cutter, a little wheel, and it cut the material. And that's how they cut the material then a long time ago.
Was he a big collector?
Yes. Of course, he liked John Deere tractors. We had 12 at one time. Old John Deere tractor. It was John Deere everything. My husband passed away in 2017. My son passed away 2001, and my daughter just passed away in February of this year. So I'm the only one left in my family, but I have wonderful families and friends, but I'm ready to go anytime. If he'd lived June to September, we would have been married 72 years.
Oh, wow.
It was wonderful. Yeah, we enjoyed a lot of stuff together, and I have lots of good memories. Not too many bad, and who wants to think about them?